Hello, welcome to the Cinema Savvy Movie Podcast, the channel for film reviews, discussions and everything in between. I'm Chris Garner, joined with my co-host Tayten the Hour, and today this is going to be a sort of short little side video. We're just going to give our rundown, review, breakdown, whatever you want to call it, on the latest Star Wars The Force Awakens trailer, which is the international trailer which came out a few days ago, I think.
Yeah, the 6th.
Yeah, the 6th. We got a comment on our reaction video to the trailer 3 video by JBauer140, who said, I should have done a reaction to this trailer as well, but I explained this in my reaction to the TV spot today, that when I saw new international trailer, I thought it was basically going to be exactly the same as trailer 3, maybe reordered a little bit and sort of with new music or whatever, and it would be exactly the same footage we'd already got. But it really wasn't. In many ways, This is sort of the equivalent of a trailer 4, because there is a lot of new stuff in this trailer and a lot of sort of teasing glimpses as to what we're going to get in the movie, and it gives us a lot more to speculate on, I would say. So we're basically going to run through some of the new footage, give a couple of our thoughts on what we think might happen in light of the new footage, and yeah, it's just going to be a short little video as we just run through it. So our first bit of new footage is Rey exploring the Star Destroyer again. This looks like a rear view, I would say, like the engines. We've got a lot of angles of this, so I think this is going to be sort of her big introduction to the film. And I'm going to say this for all the bits of footage as well. I don't think they're revealing anything too in-depth into the film. I mean, all the bits of footage we've got so far are very similar in terms of the settings and placements in the film, so I think they're only showing us the first third of the movie, I would say.
We still don't know the plot as well.
Yeah, which is good, but it is sort of getting to the stage now, and I explained this in my TV spot reaction as well, where perhaps we're getting a little bit too much footage at this point now. I would sort of just like to be left alone, go and see the movie, and not have too much spoil, because, to be honest, I mean, I love this trailer to death. In fact, I know a lot of people have been saying that they even prefer it to the trailer 3 that we got. But, I mean, I could have done without this trailer. It wasn't all too long after the trailer 3, and we're going to get loads more TV spots now. So, yeah, but for what it is, it's still a phenomenal trailer.
Do they even need to advertise this film anymore?
No, you know what? They didn't need any trailer. They didn't even need a teaser trailer. Just new Star Wars movie coming out December 2015.
Just people,
go and see it.
I mean,
and
people
will.
like everyone I've talked about, like Star Wars. Oh yeah, the new Star Wars movie's coming out. Nobody's just going to go, wait, what? There's a new Star Wars movie coming out? When the hell did that happen?
And especially with Disney behind it as well, just Disney just taking over the world. But new footage as well. We see what almost looks like the binary sunset from Tatooine from the original Star Wars film, and sort of similar looking moisture evaporators as well that were like on Anakin's home on Tatooine as well. We know this isn't Tatooine, this is Jakku obviously, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's Tatooine really, isn't it? It's just another desert planet to harken back to the original trilogy. And then
I just want to say something quickly. On that establishing shot with the sunset, you see these pylons. Now, later on in the trailer, we'll probably talk about this very quickly, but is there not a shot of Kylo Ren next to a pylon killing something? Or a chrome trooper killing something?
Are you talking about the raid that happens
I am
with
talking about the raid.
flamethrower troopers?
I saw pylons in that raid, and that is a new shot. Yeah, I'm just looking for it now. I'm looking all the way forward to when Kylo Ren is at that raid, and yes, there is a pylon there. So I'm thinking that Kylo Ren touches down on this planet at some point, which is very interesting.
So, you know, again, this is speculating now. This sort of has come to me now. I think the staff that we see Rey with through most of the film, and there's a new shot of her like running up and collecting that as well. And if you look at the bottom corner, it looks like it's from the foot of the like an AT-AT, which I think is meant to be her base, like a sort of like hollowed out AT-AT. So clearly this has some importance. Whether it's going to turn out to be some kind of double-ended lightsaber, we'll find out. But maybe this is a relic, and Kylo Ren's looking for it and like pursuing her across the planet. There are rumors as well that this staff, because it's very similar in design, in fact, it's almost identical to the toy that was released of Darth Plagueis, who's got a staff exactly like this. Some people might be thinking that it's his staff, so like a Sith relic.
Maybe she's going to become the Sith.
Maybe, and that's one theory I think. As we say, that this isn't really spoilers at the minute. This is just us sort of spitballing, coming up with ideas, what we think is going to happen. But the introductory shot of BB-8 with Rey, we know that at some point BB-8's going to be captured by this scavenger character, Constable Zuvio, I think his name is, and she must set him free. And this is her first introduction because she says, "Who are you? Where did you come from?" And then she says she's waiting for her family. Now, I don't think that line is actually from that scene. If you listen to the audio carefully, it seems like there's some kind of audio jump between the two lines. But I think that's often the case of some trailers. They'll put scenes together to make you think it happens at the same time, but it's really out of context. And then I'm just sort of scrubbing through the other footage. We get to see Finn and Rey meet up there in the tent, and I think this is probably going to take place just before the TIE fighters show up, where we get that fantastic shot.
Just before, because like DB8 rolls out, and then like they all kind of chase after it, and then the next shot. I know it may not be linked to the next shot, but you have TIE fighters coming in that looks like almost like I'd say either morning or sunset. So I'm thinking possibly that might happen immediately after like Rey meets them. And we all know from the other trailers that like they are running away from TIE fighter explosions. Millennium Falcon comes in. So I'm thinking that is all linked together, and that's probably going to be still within the first maybe 40 minutes of the film.
Yeah, definitely. I think, as I said, I think this is all going to take place. This is just sort of our introduction to the characters, our main new cast of characters, I think. But, I mean, I want to talk about that awesome sunset shot of the TIE fighters coming in. I mean, I'm looking at a screenshot of it now. BB-8 looking up to it as well, and it's sort of it's out of focus and eventually fades into focus. And just that shot alone, you can tell that this is done by a different director. It's definitely a lot more visually stimulating, I'd say, than the prequels, for example, which I know loads of people talk about Red Letter Media's reviews, but the whole reverse shot sitting on a couch filmed to be just, an ease of production, as easy as it can. You wouldn't have got a shot like this in the prequels, for example, and it looks phenomenal. It looks imposing, and I would love this as like a desktop background or something on my computer. It looks fantastic.
You can probably download somewhere HD versions of these backgrounds and stuff like that. People put them up immediately, I swear.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I've still got one from the very, very, very first trailer. That first establishing shot. I've got a screensaver of that. So.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be up on Google Images in no time.
Easily.
We couldn't get George on this recording, but he left a few things to say about the trailer, and this was one of the things he was talking about. He loves this shot. And then the following shot you get with like the flamethrower troopers, he thinks that they're going to become eventually like a cult favourite among the new Star Wars canon, because he thinks
the flamethrower trooper.
Yeah, like they have a very defining look. It looks like the old stuff, but yet it's just new enough, and we haven't really seen that in Star Wars.
If you go to 40 seconds in the trailer, you can see in the background that pylon that I was talking about.
Yes, I'm looking at it now. So, I mean, I hadn't even thought of this before, so I definitely think that's going to play into it. And
you see stormtroopers in the background in that shot, and you also see people. You see people's faces. So maybe he's trying to look for Rey, and maybe. Oh my god, names. John Boyega's character.
Finn.
Finn.
Yeah.
So maybe he's looking for them. And
definitely.
More evidence comes forward for that later on in the trailer.
Yeah, and I mean, this is clearly at the point where they've probably escaped and they've just gone down to the planet. But it also harkens back to the original Star Wars in that, the stormtroopers and the dark side Imperial forces from that was sort of developed from ideas of like Nazi Germany and stuff, where they'll go into like a village and shake it up and tear the place apart, trying to find what they want. And I think that this is going back to sort of the basics of that, like just give us a clear-cut villain with a clear motive, just doing despicable things. So I'm really loving that shot of Kylo Ren there. And then I'm just
I'd just like to say something different. On 50 seconds, 10 seconds after the raid, you get that kind of similar background smoking in the background, and it's when Kylo Ren's slashing his lightsaber down, so I feel like that might happen at exactly the same time.
Yeah, I mean, you look in the background, you've got flames and everything like that, so I think that's definitely going to be a part of it. Whether he's sort of questioning someone, and once they give the information he needs, he kills them, I think that'd be... I mean, it's a typical villain thing to do, but with a story like Star Wars, you sort of don't want to stray too far from the classic, archetypes of a villain. Then we get, I want to say, it's our first shot we've seen of C-3PO in these trailers. I think we saw him briefly in the behind-the-scenes Comic-Con video, but if you go to 105 on the trailer, you see C-3PO on the left with his new red arm. You've got Leia on the right-hand side, and in the middle we've got Poe Dameron.
Yeah, that's Poe, Leia, and C-3PO. And what is that? The back of Harrison Ford's head? I can't tell.
I can't tell
it's
either.
Grey hair. Could be anyone.
I don't know whether they're clearly looking at a monitor or something, or maybe a character that's walked in. Maybe Han Solo's just walked in, and Leia's sort of got that scowl on her face and like disapproving look. But I just think it's interesting that Poe Dameron's in this shot. Like, he's one of the big new characters as well. We haven't really heard all that much about him, really. So we know he's a pilot. We know he's a hotshot pilot. So maybe he's the best pilot this new version of the Rebel Alliance has got.
We're trying to figure out, I was trying to figure out where this was taken, and I can see a lot of people in the background in that shot about the very, very start of the 105 second, before C-3PO even turns to the camera. I can see a lot of people in the back of the shot. I feel like this might be kind of a base, not on the Millennium Falcon.
This is definitely Yavin 4, I think, and I think this is where the characters are going to go to straight after. The desks, the circular desks in the middle with the control panels are very similar to what they were in the mission briefing in A New Hope, so I think this is definitely in there. And then the next shot, 105, we've seen this before. That looks like the temple being razed to the ground by the First Order. And I absolutely love this shot on 107 as well.
Yeah, BB-8
BB-8 is already so many people's favourite new character from Star Wars, and I remember the teaser trailer came out, everyone hated him, myself included. We thought it was this random CGI creation, when we know it's real, and he doesn't really utter a single word, but that one expression where he's looking up at the explosion, almost in awe, you just get every single ounce of emotion out of him, and I don't know whether this is Disney's involvement. We know they can do cute robots, we've seen WALL-E. We know they can do it well, but it's just every single shot with BB-8 I absolutely love. Going through it, more similar scenes we've seen. And this was another thing George mentioned as well, if you go to 113, the fixed camera on the side of the X-Wing. Again, another example of a shot you would not get in the prequels. Very different to anything we've seen in Star Wars before. It's almost like a scene from Top Gun. And if I'm going to talk about Top Gun for a second, there was... a trailer that someone made where they took shots from this with like the sunset TIE fighters and Poe Dameron in the X-Wing and put Highway to the Danger Zone behind it.
You have got to link me to that.
It might be the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's brilliant.
Do you want to possibly share that with the world and put it in the comment section, just so
I will put that in the comment section. Yeah,
either. I don't care.
It's fantastic. But yeah, that shot's fantastic. I've said about Rey picking up the staff. I definitely think that's got more to it than meets the eye. And then Chewie. We get a little bit more Chewie. We get to see him growling at the camera and then, detonating something. I don't know whether the shot that follows him hitting that button is going to be exactly what happens in the film. Maybe they've just combined two shots again, as I said, to give a false impression. But we're getting Chewbacca blowing stuff up. We always guessed he was...
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
Oh, no, I was just about to say... Chewbacca blowing stuff up, I immediately thought he was clicking first time I watched it. I thought, do you know what? Chewbacca, he's starting a jazz band. He wants to get things going. Boys are back in town. He's going to start clicking. He's going to click like the dark side to death with his smooth moves and his cool jams.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. I mean, he'll be like hanging out in the cantina with the cantina band, fingering down in the modal nodes, just taking his band on tour across the galaxy. But I love this because I've always got the impression that Chewie was sort of like a tech-savvy one. Mostly down to the fact that, when you see him fixing up the Falcon and stuff. But it would be cool if Chewie sort of becomes the gadget guy now in Star Wars. Like, it would be a
He is now Q.
Yeah. That I love that idea that they're going to take Chewie in that direction. Hopefully they do. But
now,
and then our final news shot.
Oh my
which
god.
Is the one we've got to talk about the most, and everyone seems to be talking about it. I don't know if it's a spoiler for the film, but I know a lot of people think that this shouldn't have been in the trailer. I'm inclined to agree, and Georgia said as well he could have done without this shot, although it is awesome. It starts at 1:22 in the trailer, and it's the scene where Kylo Ren takes out the lightsaber and points it at Rey's neck. I know you've got some thoughts on this. You've sort of scrutinised this scene a bit more, so if you want to go through those.
So I wasn't looking at the lightsaber per se. I was looking at Rey herself and her reaction to it. Now you thought she was scared, she didn't want to turn round, and that's why she wasn't looking directly behind herself or trying to turn round or anything. But I can clearly see that her eyes are fixed on something. She is looking at something. And then she looks down towards the lightsaber once she sees it in front of her. I feel like it isn't just those two in shot right there. There is going to be another person or another couple of people there. I'm thinking maybe it's the Chrome Trooper, maybe it's a couple of Stormtroopers who have found her and caught her, and like Kylo Ren's maybe only just caught up to her, and she doesn't know he's there. But she is definitely not looking like to avoid. She isn't like looking. She's looking scared, of course, but she appears to be like on her knees. I mean, she is looking at somebody else first, and then the lightsaber comes down. So yeah. I'm thinking maybe there's a couple of people there. I don't know.
Possibly, I don't know, but we know that this is a continuation of the shots we've seen in the other trailers. You get the shot where she's looking up towards the top of the trees and she sees all the First Order ships coming into land. And then another shot where she takes out the blaster, and this was sort of repeated and expanded on in the new TV spot that came out today, where she takes out a pistol, she shoots at what we now know is Kylo Ren, and then he deflects the bullet away, and this is probably their first meeting where they exchange dialogue, and lots to speculate on.
So much to speculate on.
I think that it's safe to say that these two are related somehow. Whether they're going to be brother and sister, or whether they're going to be cousins, there's definitely a connection there that I think is going to be explored through the film. Sort of inspired by the Solo twins from the old expanded universe as well.
Well, you never know. Kylo might be her dad.
Oh, that would be weird, especially the age thing with the actor. But yeah, there's loads to speculate on with these trailers, but that'll do it for our video, I think.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, we could go on for hours and hours and hours, but you know, we should probably save it and see how the movie is. No. But yeah, let us know in the comment section what you thought of the international trailer. Did you like it as much as the other trailers, and are you experiencing a little bit of Star Wars fatigue now and sort of want to hold off to the movie?
Hell.
Get involved with the comment. Get involved in the comments, let us know. You can follow us at Facebook at facebook.com/cinemasavvy. We're on Twitter at cinema_savvy, and we're also on Letterboxd at letterboxd.com/cinema_savvy as well. So yeah, that'll do it for our video, and until next time, thanks for watching.